I'm Bimbra Ratnaika, and I'll be the moderator for today's session. It's a great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to today's sneak peek into AI and machine learning session organized by the IET on-campus University of Peradeniya. If I talk a bit about the IET of the University of Peradeniya, that's the student branch chapter of the Institution of Engineering and Technology, a global network which plays an amazing role in the career development of engineers around the world. So, Sneak Peek into AI and Machine Learning is a webinar on comprehensive insights into artificial intelligence and machine learning organized by the IET on-campus University of Peradeniya. Without taking much time, with great honor, let me introduce the guest speaker today, Dr. Mrinal Bachute, who will deliver a remarkable session. Dr. Mrinal Bachute is an associate professor and head of industry Connect and Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Pune, under Symbiosis International, Pune, India. She has more than 22 years of experience in teaching and research. She has guided many postgraduate and undergraduate students in their projects. She is currently guiding the doctoral research of 6 scholars. Dr. Mrinal's area of specialization include digital image processing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and adaptive signal processing. She has received research funding from the University of Pune and All India Council for Technical Education's Quality Improvement Program grants. She has presented her work at many international workshops and conferences and chaired technical sessions also. Her research papers have been published in reputed journals and conference proceedings at the national and international levels. Dr. Mrinal Bachute has also delivered invited talks and expert sessions at many national and international platforms, including at IET UK Seminar in Vancouver, Canada, Z-Power Engineering, Vancouver, Canada, and at IET Local Network in Trinidad and Tobago. She has been a paper reviewer for conferences and reputed journals, including Springer Nature and Elsevier. Dear Madam, it's a great privilege to have a person like you in today's session, and again, I warmly welcome you. Before moving on, I would like to remind you that there will be a Q&A session at the end. So please feel free to send your problems through the chat box. Without further delay, I would like to invite the guest speaker, Dr. Mrinal Bachute, to carry on the session. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much for this warm introduction. Let me share my screen first. Hope my screen is visible. Once it's visible, do let me know.
You cannot see the screen, ma'am.
You cannot see now?
Now it's visible, madam. You're muted, ma'am.
Yeah, I think organizers had muted. Okay. So now am I audible? Can you all see me and hear me clearly? Is the
madam.
screen? Yeah, it's really very nice. Good evening, one and all. I am Dr. Mrinal Bachute, professor from Symbiosis Institute of Technology, which is a constituent of Symbiosis International University, Pune, Maharashtra, India. And my dear audience, my dear participants, today I would like to make this session very interactive so that, you know, the more most of the part is taken, uh, perceived and conveyed properly. So let me start with the today's topic. Of course, before that, I would like to tell you that as the organizers have already mentioned, that I work in the area of image processing, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So today, this is an introductory session wherein we will have a sneak peek into artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now, it's always, it might come to your mind, what is the connection between image processing, artificial intelligence, machine learning? What is this particular domain all about? And why are in these recent years so much spoken about artificial intelligence, machine learning? Why is it disrupting the technology? How industry looks at it, how academia looks at it, right? So I'm going to make it very interesting and interactive. Hope you all also can unmute and whenever I ask questions, maybe it would be a two-way communication. Hope it happens. And when we talk about intelligence, what comes to our mind? Human intelligence, yes, the most intelligent species, right? Human beings are the most intelligent, isn't it? So what is artificial intelligence bringing in those kind of intelligence into machines? Yes, so that is artificial intelligence. So let us move ahead. When we talk about machine learning, why is it making a great stride these days? See, long back, 25 years, when I was doing my engineering, I was like a student like you. And in the university, I was learning few subjects. As you might have specializations. Yes, we did had certain specialization. Long back, 25 years back, I had a specialization named artificial intelligence. Not named exactly as artificial intelligence, it was named ANN, artificial neural network, which was a specialization offered to us. And being like, right from my childhood, I was very much curious to know how human being learn, how we learn, and how the brain works, what is, like, revealed about the brain, what is not revealed about the brain, what is the capacity and potential about the brain, right? And how human beings learn. Like, suppose that there's a child. I'll give you a very simple analogy. There's a small baby who is crawling, right? And if the baby sees a fire, naturally he or she might get attracted towards the fire. And what the baby might do, getting attracted to the fire may go. If it is unattended, of course, if someone is there, will not allow the baby to do so. But if it is unattended, what is the natural tendency of the baby? What the baby would do is will go and try to touch that yellow flame, which is fire, of course, and not knowing that it might burn his or her finger, will touch that, isn't it? And once the baby touches it, it's for the lifetime. The baby will learn that never touch a fire, isn't it? So how this human biological system, biological machine learns from experiences, isn't it? Now take us, you and me, how we were yesterday. We are not like that today, isn't it? We learn, we grow. There's always, every day, there's delta improvement which is happening. So it's a learning phase, isn't it? So this is how our network, how a machine learns. So what's so new, and why this is becoming, machine learning is becoming a buzzword these years? Because machine learning is making a big or great stride, because these days large and good data sets are available, and computational, like GPUs are available. Then high computational devices, hardware is available, which was not available in the earlier days. Then there are certain complex algorithms which are available, And let me tell you, my dear participants, you do not have to start from scratch, right? In our old days, like when I was doing my PhD, I worked on algorithm. Basically, I worked on several algorithms for speech-based algorithms, image-based algorithms, developed you know some features, understand those features, and develop some algorithm statements, and then understood which are the features. Then in a very very non-automatic way, what we did was try to develop certain applications, try to understand, extract the features. But now, because of GPUs and because of the advancement in machine learning, artificial intelligence, you do not have to start from scratch. The research community is putting everything, all the algorithms on GitHub, on the research platform. Even Google is doing a lot of research, Facebook is doing a lot of research, a lot of work is happening in AI/ML. Of course, I'll come to that towards the end. But my dear participants, I would like to tell you that it has become very, very easy and convenient for all the young generation to work in this, because you do not have to start from scratch. There are certain things which are readily available. The only thing is you should know those things, know the algorithm, understand it, understand the layers of it, and see you're having which application at hand, and use that particular application, which parameters are important, which application is at hand, and then apply those and see whether it is working or no. Otherwise you can refine those, right? So here I would like to make it clear that because of large data sets which are available, and high power GPUs, computational capacities which are available, and progress in the algorithm, it has become very, 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 very popular in industry as well as academia to use machine learning. Now there are many interesting applications. If you talk about commercial applications, there are n number of commercial applications which we'll be talking about. Then there are scientific applications also. Now there are, as I mentioned, there are certain links with artificial intelligence, machine learning. And when I say about AI, it's a branch of science and assist machines to find solution to complex problem. Now here, what is important is complex problems. We are solving these complex problems in a more human-like fashion. We are applying this human intelligence to the machine, and we are utilizing these algorithms to solve these complex problems. So artificial intelligence is the future of next generation. It encompasses variety of disciplines like medical, finance, engineering, so many domains. Now you might have heard about, just excuse me 1 second. Yeah. Now if you can unmute yourself, do let me know. I have a bad throat, I'm so sorry. Do let me know. You might have heard the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, or maybe former president USA, or the founder and CEO of Amazon, or maybe the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, saying about artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Basically, it's a main tool behind new age innovation and discovery. Imagine a domain, think, wherein there's a complex problem. Let me make this statement, you can apply AI. Let it be finance, let it be medical domain, then let it be law, or any industrial application, industry 4.0, 5.0. So like driverless cars, disease detection. Then it could be generalizing AI, worth thinking about the strengths, or maybe imagination, and it to get about the core values and the issues at choice, are also understanding what is being spoken, what is fake, what is authentic, right? So artificial intelligence be vastly smartly working than any human. Of course it is not going to replace humans, because see, we are human beings who are intelligent, and we are making the machine intelligent. Ultimately it is going to help us as an assistive help for so that free our time in doing daily monotonous work, and maybe we can assign our maximum of our time to perform intelligent and highly demanding skill set work which is required so that all routine work can be carried out by AI assistants for us, right? So we are now solving the problems with machine learning and AI. What Jeff Bezos said, that it's a realm of science fiction for last several decades, and this is going to continue. Believe me, this is going to continue for several years. So of course there are a lot of job opportunities and a lot of scope for young engineers to work in this particular domain. Now, artificial intelligence and machine learning, what do you mean by AI and what do you mean by machine learning? AI, artificial intelligence, is trained final output machine which mimics like human brain, as I was telling you. For example, Amazon Alexa. You can tell Alexa, do this, Alexa, do that, isn't it? You might have used this particular application. So it's a set, bigger set. And what is ML? It's a subset. Subset, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. It's very interesting. And it is a technique to achieve the AI. Say, for example, you have certain spams and you want to detect the spam or text detection. Suppose you are typing a text and you do not wish to type entire text, but you want your AI to predict what could be the next sentence or what could be the next word or what could be the next couple of 2 3 sentences, like that. So that also is possible by this. Now, breakdowns of industrial development. As I was mentioning, that AI is disrupting, right? All industry is trying to, almost majorly setting out their R&D funds for AI ML development in their firms. Apart from that, there are few new startups which are coming up, right? So breakdowns of industrial development and the great changes in the related categories. So which are the categories? Now, Industry 1.0, you might have heard about mechanizing the streams and water power, which was in this particular range, 1760 long back, 1830, then Industry 2.0, then Industry 3.0, Industry 4.0, that is 2015 to 2050. It is predicted to be, but uh, the technology is advancing so fast that currently we are witnessing Industry 5.0 because of the great advancement in artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? I hope you can see my screen and hear me properly. Am I audible clearly?
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So there are certain applications wherein AI and ML can be used. Say, for example, certain monotonous uh, things like uh, customer support, because it needs to be 24 by 7. And for a human being, it's really very tedious to be answering the calls 24 by 7. Maybe it becomes very difficult. So here we can deploy AI based customer support, automated customer support, online shopping experience, then maybe chat bots. They can answer the customers queries, and then direct the customers and give the answers or give them reminders, give them notifications. And this kind of chatbots, some of my students are developing this kind of chatbots in collaboration with the industries as per the industry needs. So it is really working well. And there's another domain wherein personalized shopping experience, we can have timely alerts, messages wherein a small piece of data about every followed link. So let me tell you, my dear participants, whatever you're following, whatever you're opening on the internet, you might have realized that you get certain ads. Suppose I'm looking for some home appliances in kitchen, I get certain advertisement popping up on my screen related to maybe Philips hand mixer, blender, toaster, OTG, or maybe a dishwasher, something like that, if I'm searching for all these kind of appliances. So see, whenever you're browsing, understand someone is observing you, and then that kind of personalized advertisement also is being sent to you. Maybe if you ignore that, you may get discount offers also, that for 10% discount. And then even if you ignore that also, maybe another few minutes, you may get 20% discount, and like that. So someone is, having a very eye on you. So this is nothing but marketing, isn't it? Artificial intelligence based marketing. Now, in healthcare domain, AI enabled workflow assistance, wherein doctors free up their schedule, reducing time and cost for streamlining the processes. So the main part wherein clinicians or the surgeon needs to perform the surgery or the checkup, that the main thing they can concentrate on, and the other redundant work which can be streamlined with the help of an AI enabled workflow assistant can be done. AI powered technologies really helping the pathologist analyzing the tissue samples, for example, and making more accurate diagnosis. So sometimes, clinicians can see, suppose there is an MRI or a certain scan. With Once you look at the scan, maybe we are not able to see everything, but with the help of AI enabled algorithms, and if we process that, we can make the clinician see those features which are not able to see in normal scans. So we can make him or her see, which can make proper diagnosis and proper treatment for the patient can happen. So we can make him or her see the unseen part in the scans also. As I said, automated advisors in the AI based advisors. Suppose you have this much income, and if you are a student, if you have this much pocket money, and then this much months are there, how you plan your finances, that prediction, if you're going like this, if your lifestyle is like this, then you may require this much money, and then your pocket money might finish off in another 15 days or 20 days or so. Such kind of automated advisors and planners, financial analysis can be done AI based, and you can get a lot of help. So smart cars and drones, which is already taking a lot of attention. One of my PhD scholar is working autonomous vehicles. What he is doing is applying semantic segmentation and trying to map the roads and make certain automatic decisions, finding out the pedestrian, finding out the roads, building, and trying to build models for autonomous vehicles. So this is also a very interesting domain wherein AI is applied, right? Then travel and navigation. This is also a vast domain, AI enabled mapping. So here I would just like to introduce what are the different domains which are, because of AI, it is tremendously disrupting this particular domain. And the scans of the road information, the algorithm can identify the optimal route to take. Suppose you are driving your car and you have two routes. You can see on your map, most of you might have done that on Google Map, that there is a red patch behind ahead of you. In that particular road, you may decide, oh, there's 20 minutes of traffic jam if I go by this road. So what is the smart choice? Don't go by that road, go by the next road. And before you take that decision, check the map. You can see, oh, there's nothing red patch over there. So yeah, so smoothly I can drive. So that is also very nice, travel and navigation. Then social media, as I said, advanced machine learning to help us on not only in the aspects like the Facebook, Insta, because nowadays every youngster is on Insta, isn't it? So LinkedIn uses AI to offer job recommendations. If you apply, if you keep on your LinkedIn, if you're interested or if you're looking for some job, AI based recommendations come, and those kind of jobs which match your profile will be in your inbox, or those links will be shared with you. People will suggest the connections which are in line with the domain of your interest. So isn't it amazing? So it's making our life easy, right? Of course, believe me, it will not replace human beings. It will be assistive help for human beings. Then smart home devices. So sometimes what happens is, when I'm at home and okay, everything is fine. My son is at home, then my younger son is also at home. I'm happy, fine. But when I have a meeting, I have to go to industry, or if I'm in my office, in my university, and I'm with my students working, and when towards the end of my work, I just feel, oh, what's my son doing? Maybe today he or she he is alone. How will I I just called him, but he didn't pick the phone. So as a mother, I may get worried. So what will I do? I log in on the smart home, the camera which is connected to the link, and I can see from my mobile phone. I can see my younger son in his study room studying, and that's the reason he didn't pick the phone, because he's so much intensively preparing for his examination. And the younger one is also having his examination, sitting in the hall, and he's also doing some of his assignments. So I will be happy. Otherwise, as a mom, I would be very much worried. Oh, what's happening? Why they're not picking the phone? So the smart home, or imagine most of us are working, isn't it? And how about we turn on the washing machine, turn on the dishwasher, and everything, wireless, and automate everything, so that homes have become smart homes. So it will ease our, so why am I telling all these things? See, in our context, there are so many problems which are there in the society. There are so many problems, so there will be so many solutions, and AI can help us to solve these complex problems. So my dear participants, I give you a minute to think on what are the daily problems you come across, and how you want to design a smart solution to that particular problem with the help of AI algorithm, maybe a machine learning, or maybe a deep learning algorithm. That again depends on the data set which is available, that I'll talk to in the upcoming slides. But here I will take a pause, and I want you to think, what are the problems you are facing, maybe in your university, maybe in your house, so that you can take help of what are the complex problems, and you can take help of AI machine learning to solve this kind of problems. Interesting? Now, it was long back said that creativity, only human beings can be creative, or a machine cannot be creative, or something that has also been proven wrong. AI powered technologies can help musicians create new themes. Of course, they are not going to replace musicians. I will never say that. But yes, they are going to assist creative writers. You may have witnessed Chat GPT. Yes, you might have witnessed text to audio conversion, AI powered, audio to text conversion, speech based application, image based applications, which are powered with AI technologies, right? Then security surveillance, which I spoke about already. Let me share a very interesting example. Sophia, you might have been, you can also Google search and understand Sophia, how she introduced herself, how did she spoke about, how she was trained. It's a robot. India welcomes robot Sophia for the first ever interactive session in Kolkata. Even in IIT Mumbai, in the Tech Fest, there was a robot wherein this interaction was being taken. So there are a lot of career opportunities in AI ML. Of course, it's going to rule the industry, even academia. So there is scope in development of machines, in game playing, speech recognition, language detection, machine, computer, vision, expert system, robotics, right? So especially spending on AI systems will accelerate, and that's the reason the industry is investing a lot of its R&D, a lot of its revenue on AI/ML, hence recruiting a lot of workforce in this AI/ML domain. So even if you are an electronics engineer, a civil engineer, or a computer engineer, or a specialized AI/ML engineer, you will have a different role to play. You are in demand because every industry is understood this requirement, and they are aligning their budget also accordingly. So believe me, there's a lot of job opportunities. Global spending on AI is forecasted to double over the next 4 years. Say maybe by 2024, around $110 billion investment. So it's a huge one, and it's going to grow. So there are several avenues: hospital, medicine, game playing, speech recognition, understanding the natural language. So there's one of my research scholar who is working on natural language understanding, natural language processing. Processing the language is one part, and once you're processing it, understanding what has been processed, making inferences out of it, and then taking certain decisions. That is again a very challenging task. Computer vision, then cyber security, face recognition, transport, marketing, and advertisement. So believe me, AI covers many areas, which already I spoke about. Your domain of engineering, let it be anything, you have a role to play. If you are aware of how AI works, I have conducted so many hands-on sessions, workshops for university students as well as working professionals in industry for AI ML, and there's a lot of job opportunities available. Let me tell you, even in core electronics domain, microchip manufacturing companies like Intel also have openings for AI expert. So this is what I wanted to say. Even if you would like to work, get a job in machine learning, data scientist, business intelligence development, etc., apart from that, if you wish to go to abroad, learn, study, it's a lot of scope, huge scope is there. Now, world's biggest company heavily is relying on AI and ML. These are the companies which are working in this particular domain. So initially, I tried to give you a aerial understanding of the importance of AI ML and what the industrial scenario is. So these are the top companies which are working in AI domain, right? And these are the areas which they are working. Now, AI ML is driving the growth in the startups. Some say tomorrow you feel like, just give me a minute. Tomorrow, if you may feel that AI ML, you can start certain or something of your own with the rising technologies. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so sorry for that. If you feel like, starting something of your own, you can definitely understand the startup ecosystem, the logistics, then everything. And it's AI, IoT, and ML is changing the face of India, right? Indian SMEs and startups. So what are the skills required for being successful in AI ML? So you should have an analytical thought process, that which we all already have, right? Then you need to have professionals, technical skills to design, maintain, repair, and technology and software programs. So if you're interested in this, definitely this is a very, very good domain for you to work, right? There should be certain cognitive skills, and there's a lot of scope, ample job opportunities are available. Now, let me, this was just an aerial view on artificial intelligence. Now let us deep dive into basics, advanced concepts, applications, certain use cases, certain projects. Let me tell you, we can go on and on. This is just 1 hour session. I have conducted so many workshops, hands-on sessions for university students and industries. Maybe I have done 3 days workshops, hands-on session offline, because that gives a different impact. Apart from that, 5 days, 10 days workshops also. So let us in depth understand the basics and advanced concepts related to machine learning. When we talk about machine learning tasks, there could be three types. Which are those? Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, right? One is supervised learning, where when we talk about supervised learning, regression, which comes to your mind, what do we do in the regression? We predict numerical values from the existing variables. There are certain dependent variables, independent variables, and then we try to map, find the relationship, and we try to predict something. What is that? We try to predict the numerical values. So there are certain complex problems which may come to your mind, which may lie in this particular domain. So, or there are certain problems which are related to predict, categorize, or maybe predict categorical values and labels. Maybe 2 3 labels. Suppose there's a category, animals, and in that cat is one label, then dog, like that. So classification problems. So there's another vertical, wherein classification, then unsupervised learning. As I said, there are two things: supervised learning, unsupervised learning. So here, supervised learning, a lot of human intervention is there. Unsupervised learning, what we do is very less human intervention. So clustering, group the data according to the distance. What we do is maybe we will use KNN, or maybe what we do is we find the distance, Euclidean distance. There are several other methods also. And accordingly, we cluster, form the clusters and group the data which is available. So remember here, my dear participants, data is very, very important for the success of machine learning or artificial intelligence problems. Now, a lot of interesting concepts we are going to see. We are now going to deep dive into understanding how we are going to use it, what are the networks available, how the association, how we are predicting, then the data reduction. There are so many features which are available. Out of that, which are the fewer features which are important? Reinforcement learning is another machine learning task, and which is popularly used these days. Right now, let me show you a very interesting example. I just now said about, so what I was telling is there is lot of work which is happening, and clustering, crime prediction using k-mean clustering, wherein you can see which is the area wherein uh, crime areas, and then predict by using k-mean clustering the prediction for next crime region, like that. So there are applications in machine learning, in biology, in earth observations, machine learning, molecular material science. Take, name the application and you have machine learning into it. So machine learning algorithms, as I said, regression, right? So machine learning algorithms, when you apply regression, what it could be is normal simple regression, or SVM, that is support vector machine, random forest multi-layer neural network, deep neural network, etc. Then classification, whenever you have a classification problem in hand, you may use naive Bayes, support vector machine, random forest, multi-layer neural network, deep neural network, etc. Clustering, k-mean hierarchical clustering. Can you hear clearly? Can you hear and see the slides? Hello, can you hear and see the slides clearly?
Yeah, ma'am. We can hear you and we can
Hello?
see the slides.
It is visible and audible? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, madam, we can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was unable to hear you, so it was like I'm not sure whether you're able to hear me or no. So now I was talking about machine learning algorithms, regression, classification, which are the standard classification methods which are available. Then when we talk about clustering, k-mean clustering, hierarchical clustering, right? And then whatever problems we have at hand, maybe sometimes you may feel that machine learning projects are failing, or Gartner claims that 85% of failure happens if, why this disaster is happening. Maybe because of ethics, ethical AI, because say for example Amazon or has had the employees fired by an AI automatically. So that is one example. The reasons for failure, what are the reasons? Asking the wrong question. Suppose you build a chatbot and you train it, and then you do not ask the right question. So if you ask a wrong question also, there's quite possible that failure may occur. Or maybe trying to solve a wrong problem. If it is a regression problem and trying to apply classifier, or if it is a problem which can be solved by using deep learning and struggling to implement it using machine learning, then it is not going to work. So that is very important. And if you do not have enough data, the system will not work, right? And what is important? To have the right data. Even having too much of data is not good, right? Hiring wrong people, using wrong tools, not having the right model. So these are the different reasons for the failure of the projects in AIML. Now, my dear participants, if at all anyone is working in this domain, you might know the frameworks. Anyone working in this particular domain? Anyone working in AIML? Any projects working on Python, C, R, Keras? You can unmute and tell me. What are the frameworks which are required? What are the programming languages, if at all you choose to work in this particular domain? So programming language could be Python, R, C++, or many other. And what kind of libraries are to be used? Scikit, Learn, PyTorch, TensorFlow, Keras, these are the popularly used libraries. Now suppose you are using the classic machine learning problem. You want to solve a classic machine learning problem, then Scikit Learn library is sufficient. If deep learning frameworks, then PyTorch, TensorFlow, Keras, etc. can be used, right? Then there is fast evolving ecosystem, and popularly people are combining the libraries also, and a lot of people are working in Keras. Now, what is Scikit? It is a nice end-to-end framework, right? It is data exploration. Maybe you can use pandas, hollow views, etc. Data pre-processing plus pandas. What we do in pre-processing, we clean the data, because see here, for the success of the application, the data is very important. And if you do the data pre-processing right, then you are at the first step right, doing your cleaning, missing values, normalization, etc. Then comes the training. After you train your model, then comes the testing. Whatever data set you have, you divide that data set into maybe 50 50 or 30 30 40 20, something like that, uh, right? And then you use some portion for training, some for testing, validation, and then you try to apply it to a particular application. So classic machine learning only can be happened by using scikit learning. Very interesting. And how to explore this, I have given the link for scikit. You can go to this particular link, understand how to use scikit, download, and then you can use it also. Keras, it's a high level framework for deep learning. If at all you choose a deep learning based problem, you can definitely go for Keras, TensorFlow backend. TensorFlow works as a backend, and there are different layer types: dense, convolutional, pooling, embedding, recurring, activation, etc. And this is the link for exploring Keras. Then data pipelining, data ingestion. So maybe if you all are interested, we can also plan some offline workshop wherein actually I will show you how these things can be done, and also could share some hands-on examples, which is done by me and my research students. Then cleaning the data, I will actually tell you how, what are the outliners, what is valid values, what are invalid values, how the filter is designed, how to clean up the data, and suppose you have any missing values, what is the impute of it, etc. Then data transformation, scaling the data, normalization of the data. So all these particular things can be possible, right? Now we must do everything systematically, otherwise it might not work. Even if you have a powerful algorithm, you have a powerful GPU, and if your data is wrong or it is not annotated properly, because you require that expertise to annotate the data, at least for initial stage of training. And if the training happens properly, then the testing. So every step is very, very important. So it should be done methodically and systematically. I'll really be very happy to show you offline how actually the things takes place. So when I talk about supervised learning methodology, what we do is we select the model. There are so many models which are available. Out of that model, which works for your application, we need to choose that. Maybe could be random forest, deep neural network, etc. Then what is the next step? We need to train the model. Means what? determine the parameters. These parameters are very important. And in an image or in a speech, uh, you may have so many parameters. Out of those parameters, which are the important parameters that you need to determine? That requires a lot of expertise, because I work on image and speech, and I know that pitch, formant frequencies, then fundamental frequency f1, f2, f3 in case of speech, or pitch frequency, voiced part, unvoiced part, silence part in speech is very, very important parameters. And I can have certain annotations and can train the algorithm so that a proper speech based application can be modeled. So this determination of the parameters is very crucial. Suppose I talk in case of context of image based application. In image based application, maybe edges, contour, intensities, the pixel values, or the ROI, these particular things are very important, right? So the data is very important. Then input plus output, that is training data. We determine the model parameters. Validation data. Why we are interested in validation data? Because it decides the, like, it gives us a yardstick to avoid overfitting. Otherwise, if you do not know, like if you are starting in Pune and via Mumbai, you're going to Sri Lanka, then the destination is Sri Lanka, or maybe from Sri Lanka that you wish to travel to Pune, then what is the destination. So ultimately, the validation data outcome also should be known, so that the yardsticks to avoid the overfitting happens. So let me show you. This is the problem of. So here is overfitting problem. You can see this is how the classification has been done. One class is shown, the data points are shown with orange dots, and the other class with green cross. And you can see this is overfitting problem. Then optimum problem, this is the optimum. And because if you try to uh, classify this with the linear classifier, it's not going to work, because both the classes consist of orange data points as well as green cross data points. So it's not solving our purpose. So this is underfitting which is happening. What we intend to do, we do not desire overfitting, we do not desire underfitting, we want an optimum solution. So how to do that? Apply optimization algorithms once you are worked with the model, once you are trained the data, validated the data. Very interesting. Many of my students are working on optimization algorithms also. Now, test model, testing the data, final scoring of the model, production, predicting the values. Suppose you have data logs and you're analyzing the data logs, and then you're predicting that, yeah, this machine may break down if this is the data set, if this is the log which we are getting. So there might be a problem to this particular section. You can predict beforehand, before the breakdown actually occurs. So this prediction also is possible. This experimentation with underfitting and overfitting is also possible. And as I said at the beginning, that this is all inspired by biological neuron. In our human body, there are so many neurons. You can see the cursor moving. There are so many neurons. This is an amplified, magnified version of the neuron, right? Biological neurons. You can see these are the inputs, these are the outputs, this is the axons, this is the soma, dendrites. And let me model its activation potential for the biological model. This would look like this, with certain threshold potential, which upstrokes and downstrokes. Now, if I want to draw an equivalent model of this, how the model will look like. Now we are deep diving into how this neuron model can be mathematically and in an ANN artificial way, how we can model it. So you can see over here, this is the biological neuron and this is the artificial neuron, which we call ANN. And these are the inputs x1, x2, x3, xn. And these are weights w1, w2, w3, wn. And this is the bias. Then this is the output, activation functions, which will act on it. This is the mathematical modeling for it. Y is equals to sigma summation I equal to 1 to n. Very interesting. It's a weighted sum of like wi of x of I plus b bias. There are different activation functions. There's a lot of control which is there in our hand with the help of the proper input, with the help of the weights, training, with the help of the bias, with the help of using different activation function and making our neuron more and more smarter so that it can solve the complex problems. Of course, this is all inspired by biological neuron, which actually is present in your body, my body, isn't it? So now I just showed you a simple layer network here, simple layer network. Now there are very much complex networks also, multi-layer networks, x1, x2, x3. This is the first layer. Then L2, L3, and there are so many other networks which have complex number of connections and complex number of layers. So this is a multi-layer network. Now how to determine the weights? Training, back propagation, what we do is somewhere you start randomly, initialization. For all training approach, for all input output in the training set, usually input output, you may go forward or you may go backward, compare, compute the output with the training uh, data and training output which you are getting, adapt the weights, every iteration the weights are changing, keeping what ultimate aim in our mind to improve the output, right? And go back propagation or backward, right? If accuracy is good enough for your application, then you'll happy, you are done. Otherwise, reiterate, go again, check the input, compute the output in forward way, compare, compute the output with training output, adapt the weights, go on changing the weights, improve the system until you are happy with the accuracy. And you have a huge amount of data set, right? And error should be less, as much less as possible, and your problems should converge in a proper local minima, global minima. There should be a starting point, and then you move ahead. So this is how you go ahead. So there are so many tasks which are at hand. Let me give you some example. Handwritten digit recognition. What we did is, on the digital screen we wrote some digits, like 504921, and we took a very simple problem in hand, input data, which was a grayscale image. And we say the output, what would be the output? Output is only combination of 10. What should be the output? Either could be a digit 0, 1 or 9. Then training examples were taken. We trained the model, we test the model, right? And then we found out what is the success rate. First approach, what was that? Data pre-processing was done, one dimensional array was taken, and output data as array with one hot encoding was taken. So one hot encoding, then you can see the model also was using multi-layer perceptron. So 758 inputs were taken, dense hidden layer with 512 units, ReLU activation function, different activation functions were tried, dense layer, it's huge. Then we did all softmax activation, etc. And then ultimately we found that this is working, and we were able to find out that yes, this is a 0, this is 1, this is 9, etc. And we also tried for deep neural network, many layers. What is happening is, instead of trying out with less layers, if we try out with more layers, more features can be learned, and you can get better outputs. So this revolution has happened because of deep neural network. The only condition here is you should have a huge data, and this has led the revolution towards big data analytics you might have heard about. So this revolution of the networks of maybe 552 layers, imagine, huge layers, ImageNet classification problem. So you may use special type of layers like convolutional, dropout, recurrent networks. Convolution network, if you apply, you can see how the things are happening. So this the diagonal line which is predicted. Now convolutional example, you can see this line is predicted. Then what about the other? Then yeah, this way you can use the matrix and perform the processing. Okay, then with 5 and other things it is okay. But if there are curves like 3, then how? Then also the certain classification, certain things were tried out, and it worked well after different iterations. So this was one approach. Then second approach was, instead of using one dimensional array, we took two dimensional array. Then output data with one hot. Then in two dimensional, so CNN was used, 28 into 28 inputs, and CNN layers, what we did was 32 filters. ReLU activation function was used, and flatten layer, dense softmax. So it's really very interesting to say. There are so many applications, because of short of time, I would like to move ahead. Maybe sometime in our session I would explain or teach you in detail how to build such classifiers, how to do semantic classification, how to train, test, and maybe it's an application of speech to text, or maybe natural language processing or natural language understanding, how to work on those. There are certain remembering factors also, because see, we are so smart, right? We remember things, we manage the history, the network learns what to remember, what to forget, that also we can take. Now usually we sometimes remember the things which we need to forget, and then that disturbs us, isn't it? So here we can make the machine smart by making them remember what is only required and making them forget what is not required. Isn't it interesting? Long term correlation is possible. And for that we require LSTM, GRU, which is very popularly used amongst the researchers these days, gated recurrent network. So I can, deeply talk about maybe 3 days of offline workshop, or a gated recurrent unit, maybe 5 days of workshop. So it is so much vast, huge, and a lot of applications. So just to give you a little sneak peek into the gated recurrent network, so this would be the updated gate, reset gate, current memory content, and final memory content. There are different approaches also for data preprocessing, model development, and creating it. So ultimately, there are many applications which are readily available. Chat GPT is there, InspiroBot is there. Sometimes suppose you lose your inspiration, and sometimes you feel low, and if you would be, uh, if you would be shown some inspiring quotes, maybe your mood will change. Or maybe if you practice mindfulness, you will feel more happy or make more content. So there are certain apps. Let me try to open this. I hope you're able to see this. I opened this InspiroBot. Am I audible? Are you able to see this InspiroBot?
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible and we can see the screen.
Yeah. So it is a very interesting Inspiro bot, which I really want all the youngsters to understand, that this is an artificial intelligence dedicated bot which generates ultimate amount of unique inspirational quotes for enriching us. Okay. So let me conclude my session by showing you this bot, and then I'll be open for Q&A session. Let me show you how it is generating. So let us do some generations. So there are certain inspiring quote which you can see here popping up. Imagination is the law. So whatever you imagine, you can achieve. Only thing is, it should be backed by the actions, proper actions, isn't it? So this is one aspect of this app. When there is an enter mindfulness mode, very interesting actually. I hope you're able to hear the audio. So let me just pause over here with the very interesting bot application which I just discussed with you, and now I am open for questions. Would like to take questions, if any. Any questions?
Thank you very much, madam, for sharing your valuable knowledge and experiences with us. We are really thankful to you for delivering such an important session today. Mm, Now it's time for the Q&A session. Feel free to ask any questions regarding today's webinar through the chat box, or else you can unmute yourself and ask your questions as well.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. Till then, you can collect the questions, and then I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yes, any questions? I would like to take the questions, if any.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, madam.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, any
first
questions? Yeah.
Yeah, madam. The first question we got for you is related to the topic you just presented. What are your suggestions for a self-learner and path and methods they can follow to learn AI and machine learning?
Yes, it's really a very interesting question, because most of you might think of, working in this particular domain. Do you have this any kind of course in your curriculum at the university? Any course on artificial intelligence, machine learning at present?
Yeah, madam, we have.
You do have?
Yeah, madam.
Okay, great. Very nice. If you have the basic course in your curriculum, that is really very good. And once you are done with those course, or parallelly, what you can do is you can do online courses related to artificial intelligence, machine learning in Udemy, then Upgrad. There are different materials which are available. You can also, those who wish to get some material, you can also mail me. I will send you a lot of material which is available, and you can access those materials, and that could be a very good starting point. Then Andrew Ng course, most of you might have done artificial intelligence course by Andrew Ng, which is a very popular course. So let me share my email ID also, so that if you wish to contact, you can contact and discuss with me. This is my email ID. Maybe you can make a note of it. And definitely I can share you a lot of material which is available. There are certain very good projects and examples which could be a starting point. You can keep on visiting the Facebook research page and GitHub page, wherein even Google research page, wherein artificial intelligence material, papers, PPTs, and so much of material and projects are available. And I will also share across some of the material with you, those who are interested. So you can start with some Udemy course, and to NGO A to Z in AI, ML, machine learning, and then move ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is, can you please explain the path to follow for someone who wants to enter the field of ML and AI? For someone who only knows programming languages at the basic level.
Yeah, again, I must say this is a very good question, because all most of the students are interested in programming, and they are very good at programming, right? Then how to go ahead? Suppose if you know Python programming, very good. If you do not know, learn Python programming, understand it, and then, as I said, you need not start from scratch. On the GitHub, there are certain standard algorithms, codes which are already readily available because someone has researched and someone has developed that. So you have to understand that, see what application you want to work on. Then there are certain layers which are present in the neural network, right? So you need not start from scratch, but you can build on it. So for building on whatever is existing research has been done, you need to first understand what he or she has done. For that, you need to read the research paper, understand for what purpose this algorithm has been developed, or this model has been developed and deployed for which particular application, and on that, what modifications you are supposed to do for your context of application. And then in that particular way, you can move ahead. So if you know Python programming, of course, that could be a very good starting point. Then go to GitHub, uh, take down different papers, material, lot of material is available. Do some good course on Udemy, the course which I suggested, Andrew Ng course, which is, there are certain free videos also available. You can start from there. If at all it interests you, maybe you can move ahead and go and read the research papers in this particular domain and start coding, applying for a problem which you had in your mind. You remember when I was discussing, I said to you that you define that problem and try to find the solution to that particular problem, right? So this is how you can go ahead. Thank you so much. Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. We have another question, ma'am. What is the difference between machine learning and deep learning?
Yeah, so when we talk about machine learning, as I said, AI is the set, machine learning is the subset, and deep learning is also a subset of AI. When we talk about the only major, there are so many differences, but at this level, what I would like to say is, if you have a very small data set, then you can use machine learning models. But if you have a huge data set, then deep learning. can be deployed. So you have to look at what problem is at your hand and what data sets are available, what complexity the problem is having. So will it be able to solve by ML models, or it's not been able to solve? If it is not been able to solve, then you go for deep learning. It's like that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As we have limited time remaining, this will be the final question for today's session. What's your idea about open source to learn AI such as PyTorch and scikit-learn?
Yes, definitely. We need to go and use the open softwares which are available, and that's the reason I made a point while I was discussing the framework. I included all these open source uh, platforms also, so that all the students should use it. It's indeed a very good idea to start with open source. Definitely, yes, a big yes to it.
Thank you so much, madam, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us. It's an honor to have you with us today webinar. On behalf of the IIT on campus of University of Peradeniya, I sincerely appreciate you for taking out time from your busy schedule to provide us with such valuable information. And now, I invite Mr. Avishkar Singha, the Vice President of IIT on campus, University of Peradeniya, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Bimbara. So good evening to all of you. I'm Avishkar Singha, the current Vice President of the IIT on campus University of Peradeniya. First of all, on behalf of the members of the IIT on campus University of Peradeniya, I would be glad to extend our very hearty vote of thanks to our keynote speaker, Dr. Mrinal Bachute, for delivering the session sneak peek into machine learning and AI, and for taking time out of a busy schedule to conduct the session today. We are grateful for all the knowledge and experience you have shared with us today. And I have no doubt that you have enlightened our enthusiastic undergraduates to get a head start on their machine learning journey. Please accept this token of appreciation to appreciate your time and energy you have put into this. Thank you, ma'am. Also, I would like to thank the participants for your time and unwavering attention throughout the session. I believe that you have learned a lot of things on our key aspects of the talk on AI and machine learning. And my special thanks to our senior treasurer, Dr. Sudhira Navaratna, for always supporting us and for being our guiding pillar. Last but not least, my grateful thanks to our event chairs, Minidu Lienage and Anuj Fernando, and the organizing committee, who made this event a success. Hope to see you all with our future events. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Very good audience. Very happy. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk with all the young engineers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, we have come to the end of today's program. Before leaving, we kindly request you to provide us with your valuable feedback through the provided link in the chat box. Hope to see you in our upcoming sessions as well. Keep in touch. Until then,